What's a subtle sign someone has been through some shit?
When they don't ask for favors or help. Ever. Lack of trust. No trust falls, no matter the person. They don't like it when people get them something, or they don't like being the center of attention. Their heart may be racing, but their face stays calm. When they're not disappointed when something bad happens. They accept it and keep moving. They hate threats. Edit, damn everybody. Appreciate all the upvotes. Now reread that third one, and please go away.
Disproportionate reactions. Their reactions to most things are normal or even low-key, but occasionally they have a huge response to something minor. Key sign of trauma.
They seem to wait for bad things to happen and can't imagine a good or normal outcome.
People who have been through some shit are reading these replies and realizing for the first time what their giveaways were all this time.
When you see someone deal with something extremely emotionally damaging or physically painful and they act like they don't even notice it, like nothing's changed. When you see that, you know they've seen the worst and nothing is going to get to them.
They have advice good advice for people who've just experienced trauma. Or for how to handle oddly specific and fucked up situations.
When nothing shocks them.
Not wanting to bring up anything from their past.
Thinking you are telling a fun childhood or military or whatever anecdote/story and looking up to realize from your friends' faces and shocked silence that it is indeed not a fun story and it's actually pretty FD.
Enduring pain like it's nothing.
Sometimes, even when they want to, they can't cry.
Super independent because they learned not to rely on anybody.
Preparation. Most people who've dealt with horrendous situations now prepare for the proverbial worst.
When shit goes down, they know what to do.
Don't like being touched.
Difficulty putting themselves first.
Reacting to things inappropriately, either in scale or in nature. They'll overreact or underreact, or they'll do things like laugh, unironically, at awful things. One example is a friend laughing and saying it isn't a proper Thanksgiving dinner unless someone pulls a knife. His drunken dad held a knife against his neck while angrily admonishing him about something. Humans are good rationalizers. If we're frequently exposed to awful things, they become normal.
The maturity with which they handle unexpected events.
Apologizing often for things not their fault.
Not trusting people. You could be friends for years and think you're close, but in fact, you don't have the slightest idea what's going on in their lives. They could be staying up all night, being depressed, and tomorrow morning say hello with a smile on their faces. They simply don't trust people anymore no matter what they do/don't do.
You probably talk to them about your problems, but you can't tell if them have any or if they've ever told you theirs. Also, you don't know much about them despite talking to them for a long time. Elusiveness hides things.
Holding people at a distance, very little facial expressions, regularly zoning out in a conversation, being easily startled, all subtle signs of complex PTSD which often stems from an abusive childhood or a prolonged traumatic experience they had no hope of escaping from.
Being able to put themselves in other people's shoes even in the worst situation, plus always feeling guilty about something.
Children who grow up in dysfunctional homes where there's a lot of fighting and arguing, when they're adults, tend to hate confrontation. They lack self-esteem and much more easily believe people who gaslight them. They don't easily stand up for themselves.
Their reaction to unexpected stress. If, for instance, you startle someone and their reaction is atypical, defensive or offensive stance, dropping to the ground, or otherwise very pronounced, followed by anger, that's a sign they have spent a lot of time in life-threatening situations. Also, if everyone around is panicking, but they are very calm and collected, that is an indication of living in a state of extreme prolonged stress.
Never asking for anything, even the bare minimum. Apologizing for things that aren't their fault even in the slightest. Never talking about their issues seriously, probably joking about it or even staying away from the topic completely. Flinching at small things. Edit, thanks for the awards and upvotes, they're greatly appreciated. Just wanted to clear some things up. Of course, some people will do these things even without having been through shit. These are just common in a lot of people who have, myself included.
They almost never get surprised or shocked.
Honestly? Empathy and understanding. Many have heightened senses of empathy naturally, but oftentimes the people who really care for others shows me that they themselves have really needed it at some point.
They are very good at placating drunk or otherwise irrational people.
People who are very, very closed off. I've always known that I'm a really private person, but I've recently made the connection about why I'm closed off to such a degree. When you've been through some sh*t in your life, sometimes the idea of anyone knowing any intimate detail about you can be taxing and even scary.